Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracy Daviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Today I want to talk about strategy, specifically for your social media content, and why you really need to focus on a strategy so that what you do works for you. Our quote today is from social media guru Mari Smith. Content is king, but engagement is queen, and the lady rules the house. Can't you just hear her saying it? I have to stop short every time from doing her accent. It's just, it's Mari. It is essential to not just post content, but then follow up and make it conversation with people. Are you doing that right now? If not, it's time to start. Let's go. Today we're talking about social media, and I honestly already just feel tired saying that. How about you? I know how overwhelming social media can be. We seem to put so much effort into it, and sometimes we just don't see the results. I remember a long time ago, I was so proud of myself. I was writing a blog post every single week. You can look back at my blog on Your VA Mentor. I've been blogging since 2010. Lots of content out there. Very happy and proud of the work that I do. But I remember being at a conference with my friend Kathy Koliakovo, who you may know is now a marketing strategist. We'd been chatting at the event about how I was kind of bummed that my social media wasn't really getting any engagement. At the time, she was an expert on Twitter. She focused a lot of her strategy there. Yep, we're going back a long time now. And so she said she'd have a look. She had a book at the time called Talking on Twitter. And so that was one of the ways that we were kind of putting the word out about the things that we were doing, like linking back to our blog posts and that kind of thing. So we finally got some time at the conference. At the very end, we're sitting in the gate at the airport, each of us waiting for our flights home. I opened up my laptop and she had a look. And she immediately, it was embarrassingly immediate, she said, "You're talking in headlines." I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? All I was doing in my Twitter posts was I was putting my blog titles into those, like as the caption, and then I was expecting people to engage. If you've seen blog post titles, you know that they certainly don't look like conversation. They look like blog titles. And every single word in the title has a capital letter. Like it's a title, right? It's a subject. So it looked like I was just standing on my rooftop, shouting my blog titles at people and then expecting them to have conversation with me. I couldn't believe it when she showed me. Like, how simple. We both started laughing and I felt so dumb. But I wasn't dumb. I just didn't know any better. I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. I thought by posting my blog post titles that people would click on it, they would read my wicked blog post, and then they would post and tell me how much they loved it. But that is not the way it works. They comment on what you post, and that's where the engagement is. They don't go and do something and then come back to try to engage with you on that thing. So you do want them to click your blog post. Of course, that's your call to action, right? Whatever call to action you put on your post, the idea is that they do that. But you also want them to engage with you right there. You want them to have conversation with you to get to know you, like you, and trust you, right? KLT. And then you want them to take action, of course. But all this to say that if you're just posting your blog post titles or crappy captions that, maybe are the same thing, and not actually seeking engagement with your community, you are probably just shouting from the rooftops too. So what was I to change? Let's talk about it. Power of clarity. Social media is a very important part of your online presence. We work virtually, and so a lot of our clients need to build trust before they work with us. They can't meet us in person in a lot of cases, right? So they need to get to know us online. And you have to get really clear on what you're trying to use your social media for. Often we know it's getting clients, but you have to think about what the overarching strategy is first that you're trying to put in place. Yes, you need visibility. You want to build your authority. You want to showcase your expertise. You want to grow your audience and you want to get clients. But doing each of these things requires a different strategy, or slightly different, or at least a slightly different angle. If you're trying to do all of them at once, you might run the risk of confusing your audience or your potential clients. And a confused mind, as we know, always says no. We can't make a decision if we're not sure if it's the right one. A clear mind, though, can make the right decision. And that's the decision that you want them to make. It's a clear call to action based on the content that you're posting. So let's ditch the random posting and get to purposely creating content that does what we need it to do. A lot of VAs think that if they just post daily, that their clients will see them, right? You show up consistently, and obviously people are going to love you. But random posting or posting without a strategy just adds to the noise that we all see out there. You know how much you see, right? You need to focus on the value for your clients to spend the time to reflect on what you're putting out there. Strategic content is cohesive and it reinforces the same message over and over again to your clients. You've probably heard that it takes 4 to 10 marketing touches for a client to trust you enough to work with you. On social media, or even these days, I think that goes way, way higher because of the number of touches we're getting overall. How much stuff do you see every single day? How many social media platforms are you looking at every day? Your clients are doing the same thing. So you really need to make an impact to be able to make your clients comfortable in initiating conversation with you to begin with, or even making the decision that you're the best VA to help them. And it's not about posting a lot. It's about posting strategically, talking about the things that they need help with, understanding what they find helpful or even inspiring, and providing that for them on a regular basis. You want to become their expert in what you do, the person, the VA that they will absolutely call when it's time to get help for their business. Every week I talk to VAs just like you, a lot of you. And you know what they tell me? They tell me that they listen to my podcast, that they follow my social media, that they're in my community. And they often tell me how long they've been doing that too. And yet when we talk, it's always the first time because they've built up that trust with me, or maybe I've built it up with them. And then when they want to take the step, it's me that they call. And it's not instant, at least not very often. And the same thing might happen for you. You have to realize that, right? Strategy outperforms consistency. It's so important to plan what you're doing. And having a strategy saves you time, reduces the stress of even doing social media, and it will definitely lead to better results than just posting for the sake of posting. Like anything I tell you, when you write it down, you can see the gaps. You can see where the empty spaces are. You can see what you need to work on next, right? You can see what your stuff actually looks like. Right now, look back at your last 10 social media posts on any of the platforms that you post on. What do your people see? What does your audience see? Would you hire you? Would you follow you? Would you engage with you? Of course, your strategy needs to contain more than just hire me, follow me, right? It doesn't really matter how often you post as long as there's a strategy behind it. I'm hosting a content creation work for VAs on December 6th, and we're going to help VAs just like you create a content strategy. And it doesn't mean posting 10 times a day to TikTok or making 5 Instagram reels. It's about doing what works for you and making your messaging and what you're putting out there cohesive and more effective for you. And that starts with knowing who your target market is. I know, I tell you all the time, your ideal client, and what kind of content they find helpful or interesting or inspiring. And of course, as Mari Smith says, engagement is key. You can post as little or as much as you like, but if people aren't responding to it, it is all a waste of time. Engagement is the key. It's more important than followers. It's the same thing with your mailing list size. It does not matter as long as you're engaging people. And you can do a lot more when your community engages with you. Engagement is the thing that builds that trust that you're looking for. And that's the whole key behind social media, right? Is that trust. When your clients are going to part with their money, they need to know that they can trust you to give them the help that they need in return for that money. And that's why it's also important to be authentic online. Be you. Don't try to be some fancy business person, because when your clients hire you, they're going to get you. And so just be you from the start. We often say that social media is social for a reason, and that is the goal, or it should be, as you start to do your social media better. But when you approach your social media with the goal of increasing your know, like, and trust, your KLT, everything you do should then lead to that goal. And that's what the main focus is. Getting to know you doesn't even need to be talking about your personal life. I don't use my Facebook profile for my business. I don't connect with business people on it. They can connect with me in so many other places where I'm doing business already, in my pages and my groups, other platforms that I'm specifically set up for business, like my business Instagram or on my LinkedIn. And you don't even have to post about your personal life. I often don't, even though some people tell me they would like to see it. But you can post about your personality in your business so easily. Just look at me on this podcast. You guys know me. You don't have to know what my family and I had for dinner last night or who came to my house, but you know me. It's not that interesting anyway, to be honest, but it does create that boundary that can make doing social media more comfortable. I think that's one of the things that VAs get nervous about, is that when I say be you on social media, they think they need to be showing pictures of their kids and talking about their family, and nothing really could be farther from the truth. You have to talk about how you are in your business with your clients, how your people will work with you, like what they're going to get whenever they work with you, right? And you also have to get to know your clients. And in the workshop, we'll definitely talk about how to do that. And we'll talk about how to focus on engagement, because that's the key. So what is the ripple effect? The thing to remember about your social media is that you're using it to boost visibility for your VA business. You want people to know who you are, what you do, and who you help. And when you can communicate that well in your posts, that goes a really long way to your clients knowing that you can also communicate well with them in business, right? If you do it well here, you can do it well there. And when you're clear about your pricing and your branding, the services you offer, who you help, and all those other things, your messaging becomes clearer everywhere. I used to tell people I help 6- and 7-figure business coaches with their marketing tasks so they can get more clients. Pretty simple, clear message, right? Very simple message. And that was the basis of what I put out there. You knew if you weren't a 6- or 7-figure business coach that probably my message wasn't for you. You knew that if you didn't need marketing help, I wasn't your gal. And because I was very clear that I helped them so that they could get more clients, that was my overarching message. By working with me, you can grow your business, right? In what way? We talk about me doing tasks that you shouldn't be doing. This isn't a good use of your time. Maybe we can automate some things. Maybe we can do better things than you're doing right now because you're just simply stretched, to the limit. All of those other sub messages come into it when we know by working with me, you can grow your business. That's the kind of clarity that you need to get to as well. What can your clients do as a result of hiring you to get other stuff done in their business, or the important stuff done, right? If you want to get high paying clients, you have to start talking to high paying clients online. Not in headlines, of course, but in real engaging content. Create a strong social media presence and get your messaging really clear. It's easier to do than you think. Of course, that can help. If you want your social media to work better for you, then you have to put in the effort to figure out how to do that, to create a strategy that works for you. Like I said, I do have my content creation workshop coming up. It is a full day of hands-on work, and you'll come out with your strategy because we're going to talk about you and what you need to put out there. We'll write some content for you, and you can get feedback on it from the group too, so that you know that you're on the right track. You just need to learn how to do it better, and that's what we'll teach you. I'm super excited to help you do this. Your social media is the window to your business. Make sure that your clients don't have to pull back a curtain to see through it. That's your job, right? To make sure that they know you can help them and that they like you enough to take that step. Focus on them, your clients. Focus on how you help them, and focus on engaging with them in the places that they're hanging out. I know it sounds simple, but it really is, because it's simple. Yes, you need a strategy and a plan, but the main goal is simple. If you aren't sure the workshop's for you, we can talk about it. You can send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, all my business places. That's where I engage with VAs just like you. But if you need help taking a step forward at all, that's where I can help. You know that I'm here to help you become a ridiculously good VA. I've helped hundreds of VAs who are stuck at moving through my private coaching, my monthly mastermind group, my group coaching program, and my self-study trainings. If you're ready to get my help, book a cut to the chase call with me. yourvamentor.com/chase is where you can book yours. I'm going to leave it here for this week. But I hope you got a really good message out of this. I hope it was clear and how I can help you, and that's what you need to do for your clients too. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ridiculously Good VA Show. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more great resources for your VA business, visit my website at yourvamentor.com. I'll see you back here next time.